All right, welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show NFL Ups and Downs edition. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski. We are joined by football connoisseur Trevor Zaleski, and all the way from Muncie, Indiana, as always, Doug Zaleski in the house.
Hello.
Yo. All right, well, the way the show works, we each give an NFL up or something good that's happening in the NFL, according to us, and then NFL down, something that isn't quite right, maybe even needs improvement in that way. And then we go around the horn, talk about it, and then on to the next one. So, with all that being said, we will let Muncie, Indiana go first. Doug, your NFL up.
Well, I am. My tribute this week is to AC/DC and founding member Malcolm Young, who died recently. So we are going to name as my up this week. It's called "It's a Long Way." It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And filling that bill this week is Mr. Philip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. I didn't say San Diego. It's a long way to the top for the Chargers, and they're almost there. They started the season 0-4. They are now 5-6. They're just a game behind slumping Kansas City for first place in the AFC West. And Mr. Philip Rivers, still one of the most dangerous throwing quarterbacks in the NFL, is my up this week for his performance on Thanksgiving Day against the Dallas Cowboys. You might have heard of them, a team that's on the downslide right now. But Mr. Rivers, with 434 yards passing against that Cowboys defense, 3 touchdowns, 28-6 win over the Cowboys. And as I said, the Chargers are just 5-6, just a game out of first in the AFC West.
All right, yeah, on Thanksgiving, Philip was no turkey, that's for sure. Your NFL down.
My NFL down represents the AC/DC song Highway to Hell. And the Chicago Bears are on the highway to hell, have been most of the season. And I might have picked on them once or twice previously this season, but they certainly deserve it this week after compiling just 140 yards of total offense last week in a 31-3 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. No first downs in the first half for the Bears in that game, and they have now lost 4 in a row. So Chicago Bears, you are on the highway to hell.
All right. I guess that's an appropriate reward for them. Not good for sure. All right, Trevor, your thoughts on Doug's NFL up and down?
No, I think that NFL down. That was a good one. Because, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Okay, well, Bears aren't good.
He's too stunned to even make it.
That was a lot of words. So the Bears, yeah, I've never really seen them play this year because they're not really worth watching. No offense to the Bears, but yeah. And the up.
All right. Yeah, Philip Rivers, Chargers.
I had to watch that firsthand. That was not enjoyable.
You know a little bit about that game.
What?
You know a little bit about that game, then.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, well.
That was my NFL down.
That's for another day.
All right. Well, okay. Well, for today, though, Jarvis will go to you for your NFL up and down. I know part of your Thanksgiving was spent with flying cookies, and maybe you can tell that story some other time, but your NFL up.
NFL up is the Rams after this last Sunday. They beat the Red Hot Saints in a highly contested game. They beat them by 6 points. We had Jared Goff here. He threw for 354 yards and 2 touchdowns, out throwing Drew Brees in that game. And I think it was just an important win for the Rams on their playoff path to maybe make a run in the playoffs, or do you won't? We don't know.
Yeah, well, you're here subbing for our regular Jamie, and Jamie has been high on the Rams all year, so he'll be happy that you included the Rams on your up. Your NFL down.
Mine is Eli Manning and the Giants, Ben McAdoo, just everything about them right now. So, as you may know, Eli Manning was benched and replaced by
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
He also played for the New York Jets for a while, so now he's in the New York Giants, and we'll see how that goes. I'm not saying it was the wrong decision by McAdoo to start him. Eli and the Giants' offense hasn't put up over 30 points the whole season. Eli Manning hasn't thrown for over 300 yards the whole season. His touchdown to interception ratio is 14-7. So he's just not very productive this year. So I think I'm not saying it was the wrong move to bench Eli, but it wasn't helping the cause for the whole locker room dilemma and the players not being on McAdoo's side. So it's just bad all around there.
Well, I know over in Muncie, Indiana, they've seen a clown show or two, and they would certainly probably categorize the New York Giants in 2017 as a clown show. But Doug, Eli Manning, 2 Super Bowls, now he's benched. What gives?
Well, Eli Manning definitely has not played well this year. He has not played up to what he once was. Replacing him with, what's his name again? Geno Smith. Replacing him with Geno Smith makes no sense to me. Geno Smith had his chance with the Jets to show what he could do. The Jets thought so little of him that they benched him at one point a couple of years ago, and I guess they must have released him at some point. Geno Smith, I don't know what you're looking for there. And maybe they're just trying to lose games now and felt that maybe Eli might get hot and win a few games. They'd rather play Geno Smith and lose and improve their draft spot. And the Rams being the Rams have been up most of the year. They've been the surprise team in the NFL, starting from day one when they beat the Indianapolis Colts 46-9 or whatever it was. So the Rams are definitely on the uptick.
Yeah, and I think for the Rams, all it took was them to get rid of Jeff Fisher, and that's been the difference this year anyway.
Definitely, yeah.
Listen, the Giants have been hanging by a string, I think, for the past few seasons, and the end of the rope is here. And I don't know where the Giants go from here. John Mara today, owner of the Giants, said that McAdoo's job is not safe. McAdoo says he's at peace with things. So, a lot to be told yet, I think, on the Giants. And headed into the offseason, there'll be a lot to be settled there in the land of Big Blue. All right, well, my up in the NFL this week are the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are 9-2, leaders of the NFC North. And I'll say it again, they're 9-2 with a third-string quarterback, Case Keenum. Adam Thielen is a standout wide receiver, and you may need to look him up right next to Geno Smith. Stephon Diggs turned 24 today, so happy birthday to Mr. Diggs, but he's only 24. Now, the offense has been doing their part. The Vikings are a defensive team, and they're showing it again this year. They rank 4th in overall defense. The NFL sack leader is defensive lineman Everson Griffin, and they are 3rd against the run in the NFL. So the defense is doing their part, but I don't know. They may have something going on there. The offense is lifting their weight as well, as they have lived on now post Adrian Peterson. We got Murray and McKinnon at running back. They do their fair share. We'll see. The Vikings, though, have tempted and teased before, so we've got a few weeks to go. We'll see what the Vikings can do. And then my NFL down is fighting. Now, while it may be entertaining and every now and then a scuffle in a football game maybe even is a regular occurrence, maybe you should expect that in a physical, intense sport like football. But just this last week, for the second year in a row, the Broncos' Aqib Talib and the Raiders' Michael Crabtree had at it. And for the second year in a row, Talib snatched Crabtree's chain off his neck. This time, Michael Crabtree, this year facing Talib since that incident from last year, taped his chain. Now, forget about not wearing it. No, that wouldn't be a good thing to do. He taped his chain to his neck, and it still got snatched off. The two jokers were suspended for 2 games the day after. It's since been reduced down to 1. I don't know. I guess I've had enough of the fighting, especially with those two knuckleheads. So that's my NFL up and down. Trevor, your thoughts?
I think fighting is fun to watch sometimes. Sometimes it just gets to the extreme where it just kind of has to stop, especially when back-to-back years something like that happens. They got to kind of knock that off. But, I mean, some of them are pretty funny, like the Jalen Ramsey and AJ Green one. That's kind of funny. But
all right.
Yeah.
And the Vikings?
Yeah, I've had to watch them a couple times because my mom's a Vikings fan, so it's like when the Cowboys aren't doing so hot, we have the Vikings to look forward to because at least somebody's happy. So yeah, I've experienced some firsthand, and I can tell you they're good.
Yeah, he can tell you that they're good. Doug, what do you think about the Vikings?
They have a very good defense, definitely a top 3 or top 5 defense in the NFL. And in today's NFL, in order to win consistently, you need to have either a dominant offense or a dominant defense. The Vikings have what I would consider a fairly pedestrian offense. They don't make a lot of mistakes, but they're not a high-flying offense by any means. They make their living on their defense, which is very good, and that's been the formula for them this year.
All right, now, if you're in a fight with a guy and he rips your chain off, next time you see him, do you still wear the chain?
Is this where the phrase off the chain originated? Like when you're really good at something, you're kind of off the chain? Is that what we're talking about here?
I can only imagine why. I can only imagine.
Okay. It was a clown show. It was a clown show.
There we go. We knew we'd get the
There's
clown show.
enough clown shows in the NFL this year. Everywhere you look, there's a clown show going on. I wonder why their ratings are down on TV.
Yeah. Well, with two guys duking it out, apparently over nothing, with Crabtree swinging at a head full of helmet in Aqib Talib, that's clownish for sure. So, all right, well, we will wrap things up now on this edition of NFL Ups and Downs. Trevor, any last thoughts?
Nope.
Trevor says, cash me outside. All right.
Nope.
Doug, host of the Monday through Friday, once daily Doug Zaleski Show, where can people find you on the radio?
3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central, 102.9 FM, 1340 AM, right here in Middletown, USA. You can catch it on the World Wide Web at WXFN. You can download the app, WXFN, from your phone store, and that's where you can find me. Replays are posted every day on Facebook, The Doug Zaleski Show, or on my Twitter account, at Doug Zaleski.
All right, very good. Well, we'll make sure to tune in. I know you've got fun guests every Friday afternoon, so that's always a good day to tune in. Any day's a good day for the Doug Zaleski Show.
Yeah, a little football contest of our own that goes on Fridays, and one guy is far and away the leader of the contest, and then the other 2 guys, who are a little bit younger than I am and not nearly as knowledgeable, are just way back.
All right, well, everybody tune in to find out who the other 2 guys are. It'll be a surprise for some. All right, well, my parting shots are going to go out to my brother Jamie. Tighten up. Your Titans are in first place. I don't know what happened, but they're there for now, so celebrate while you can. The Jaguars, I think, will rebound over their stunning loss against the Cardinals. But for now, Titans in first place. Thanks, everybody.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were 14-2 going to the Super Bowl. Now they're something in 4, so we'll see what happens. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.